そう固くならないで。
顔ちっか。いい匂い。待て落ち着けよ。俺イケメンだと思うから動揺するんだ。この人はスオーさん、男じゃなくて女。何も怖がることなんてな。いや、そっちの方がアウトだろ。
See, I knew I was straight. Now that the fall anime season is finally over, I wanted to rank all the shows I ended up watching throughout the season. Now, I am a nerd, but not a big enough nerd to watch every single show from this season, so there's only about 20 here that I'm going to be ranking. And hearing myself say only 20 is probably the saddest thing I have ever said in my life. And this is all my personal opinion on this tier list, so if you disagree, you're wrong. And I'm right. So, yeah. Alright, first up we have Shangri-La. It's just so good. It's so consistent. This is everything I wanted Sword Art Online to be. The show is just so much fun. Every episode is great, and it's going in A tier. Alright, Yakuza Fiancé. Now, this show is pretty good. It's just a solid romance story with some gangs, I guess. I guess that's not your typical. It was pretty nice to see a female character that can help herself for once. I didn't have any problems with the show, and I enjoyed all the episodes. So it's going B tier. It wasn't as good as Shangri-La, but it was still great. Next up is Dandadan. If you watch anime, you've either seen or heard of Dandadan. It was by far the most popular show of the season. So I'm not going to get too into it. It's pretty weird, but if you get past the weirdness, the show is just so much fun. I'm going to put it in A tier though, because I do think there were better shows from this season. Alright, next up we have Reincarnated Aristocrat. And I hated season 1 with a passion. I thought it was very boring and terrible. Season 2, however, did pick up and was a lot better than season 1. If we were just ranking season 1, I would be putting it D tier. But since season 2 picked it up, I am going to put it in C tier. Wasn't my favorite show, but it was okay. I wouldn't watch it again. Alright, next up is Blue Lock. A bit controversial. The animation's bad. It's bad. But I think the story is so good. I don't care how bad the animation is. I can look past it. These last 2 episodes were so good. The animation was amazing. I wish they could have animated it like that whole time. If they animated this show how they animated the last episode, this would be S tier. But because of the animation issues, I'm going to put it in A. I really want to put it lower, but I can't. It was just so good that it has to go A tier. Alright, Spirit Chronicles Season 2. This season was worse than Season 1. I really liked Season 1, but it just didn't really meet the expectations I had set for it. It probably wasn't ever going to meet them, because it's not really that great of a show. I think for me, it has to go C tier. I want to put it higher, but I can't. Alright, ReZero. One of the bigger ones from this season. I had to go refresh myself before I watched Season 3 because I had no clue what happened. And this season's pretty good. I'm liking it right now. I didn't love Season 1. Subaru was pretty annoying, but he's gotten a lot better. And this season is just... it's been pretty good. I feel bad for the guy, though. Poor Subaru, man. So ReZero is gonna go in A tier. Alright, Bleach. For me, this is a no-brainer. This is the easiest S tier on this list. These past few seasons of Bleach have been awesome. Just so good. The animation's great. Seeing all the new characters' powers, all the fights, all the captains. It's just... I think it's the best show coming out right now that One Piece is on break. Alright, Demon Lord 2099. I'm glad I gave the show a try because I almost didn't watch it. But, you know, it was fun. It's not your typical Demon Lord power show. It's cool to see the Demon Lord kind of mess around. He even gets into streaming at one point. It was just fun. I liked the show. B tier. That's all I can say about it. It was good. I liked it. You Are Miss Servant. From the first 2 episodes, I thought the show was going to be a lot better because those first 2 episodes were good, but it just ended up being okay. I liked it. It was a cute little romance show. Nothing special about it. The characters were cool, and I'm going to put it B tier. All right, All Guys Mixer. It was really refreshing to finally see a romance anime with adults. It's not really something anime does that often. So when you do get it, it's usually pretty good, like what we have here. All the characters were pretty good, except one. If you watched it, you know which one I probably don't like. He was pretty annoying. I hate him. But yeah, I had fun with the show. I enjoyed every episode. I'm gonna go high B tier. It was my favorite out of the B tiers. And here we have our classic weakest hero of the season, banished from the party. And this was just boring. I didn't like this at all. Story was bad, characters were bad. It's going D tier. I wouldn't watch it again. Following that, we have our villainous anime of the season. And I had higher expectations for this. I usually like the villainous anime, but this one just didn't really do it for me. I don't know why. It was okay, but I don't know. There was something missing, and I don't really know what it was. So I will be putting it in C tier because it was okay. And then next up, we have my least favorite anime of the season, The Do-Over Damsel Conquers the Dragon Emperor. And there's just one problem with this show. The main character is like 10, and her husband is like 17, and that made me feel weird. I did not like that at all. They tried to explain it in the story, but I ain't buying it. It was weird. Made me feel weird. I didn't like it. And the story wasn't even that great either. If you want something similar to this, I'd watch Seventh Time Loop from like a couple seasons ago. That was this story, but way better. So I'm going to put this one in F tier. It was my least favorite by far. Not good at all. Next up is The Notorious Talker. Without the coolness of the main character, this would not be a very good show. But just how badass the main character is and how he doesn't give a that shoots the show all the way up into B tier. The side characters are okay, but this is all about the main character and how cool he is. All right, up next, we have Arifureta Season 3. If you watch the first 2 seasons, you know exactly what you're getting into in Season 3. Nothing changed. Still kind of garbage. But I enjoy garbage sometimes. I am going to put it C tier, though. Similar to Spirit Chronicles, kind of gets worse as you go on, but, you know, I'm here for it. I'll probably watch Season 4 too, and then complain about it. Next up, we have 365 Days of the Wedding. And to be honest, the first 9 episodes of this show were so boring that I almost didn't finish it. But the last 3 were actually pretty good. I liked the last 3. Personally, I don't think it's really worth to watch the first 9 to get to the last 3, because the main characters are so insufferable for the first 9. But if you do watch it, the story actually wraps up in all 12 episodes. So if you want something completed, then this isn't a bad one to try out. I am going to put it C tier though, because it pissed me off. All right, Uzumaki. Now this was so hyped up going into it, and that first episode they gave us was amazing. And as you went on, it got worse and worse and worse. So just for the adaptation, I'm going to have to put it D tier. I want to put it higher. That first episode is A or B tier, but those last 3 are just tough to watch. All right, Blue Box. If there was one show I had to recommend from this season, it would be Blue Box. Now, the story's nothing special, but the characters are just so great that I don't know. I really, really like this show. This right here is probably the hardest decision I've ever had to make as well. This is easily going to go S tier. And our final show, Tying the Knot with an Amagami Sister. This show was really surprising to me. This was good. If you've seen Quintessential Quintuplets, the show feels similar to it, and this show is also an example of what you can do with a cool main character in a romance anime. Who doesn't suck? I think most people disagree with me here, but it's my list, so screw you. It's going A tier. It was good. I really liked it. And that concludes every show I watched in fall of 2024. Now, it felt like more, but looking at this list here, 20 is really not that many. So if I missed any, let me know. If you made it this far, I appreciate it, and consider subscribing maybe. I don't know, kind of cool. I would like that.